Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. It's not a podcast. It's a Slamcast. We are firmly barreling down the road to Wrestlemania at a high rate of speed. But we're coming up to a roadblock on the horizon. We'll talk about that later on in the show. I'll talk about possibly one of the most controversial decisions in mixed martial arts history, at least as far as I'm concerned, as well as the big preview of the fights this weekend, and so much more. But first of all, I would be duly remiss, since it is legally his birthday on the East Coast, if I didn't give a very happy birthday shout out to the man who makes the sausage run here at this podcast, my producer, Nick Horaceck. Nick, a very happy birthday to you.
Yep. Oh, man. 26, man. I am...
I know, you're over the hill. It's all
Past
downhill
the midpoint of my 20s. God.
It's all downhill from here, brother. It's all downhill from here. Next thing you know, I'm your future. You're 30. You're 32. Staring down the barrel of 32.
Yeah, only if I do end up becoming you, I'm going to be smoking weed every day. Well, then again, you are the king of bong style, so...
There's nothing wrong with that.
Oh, hell no.
Anywho, we are on here on the most superest of Super Tuesdays. We're not going to get all political and stuff.
Oh, no. Yeah.
But just we're both commiserating at the sad state of our country, which Donald Trump can win 7 states in a Republican primary. I
mean, can we really, in good conscience, elect a president that can't properly take a stone cold stunner?
No, I don't think so. I think that being able to take a proper bump should be a presidential requirement. Yep. But that's a whole nother podcast.
Or at least have the charisma of a Dusty Rhodes like a Bernie Sanders, you know?
If you will. Trying to pay for college, if you will. Anyway.
Yeah, let's get off the political talk before we turn off all our viewers.
I was trying to search for something, but I just couldn't. Like, I wanted to mention it was Super Tuesday. I wanted to mention his birthday. It's other people's birthday too in professional wrestling. Yes. We'll give a very happy birthday shout outs to the evil one herself, Emma.
Oh, damn.
Her birthday today. Personally trying to bring back the half gloves. So, happy birthday shout out to her. The five-time WCW champion and WWE Hall of Famer, and arguably the most entertaining member of the WWE in-studio team, Booker T. Happy birthday to the Bookman and the lovely Miss Emma.
Oh, yeah. See, I'm trying to get you going here, you know,
Oh, yeah, oh, there we go. How could we forget somebody who is our uncle and our daddy? Big E is the birthday boy today. I mean, yeah, so it's a big wrestling birthday episode.
Yeah. You get to share a birthday month with Emma, Booker T, and Big E. I'll take it.
I mean, that's pretty good company to be amongst. Well, we should talk about this because this is probably right now the biggest story in professional wrestling. Although it is not that big of a story because I think everybody who has been following this company that we often talk about in very derogatory and negative fashion.
You basically just mock the shit out of them.
Basically.
Rip them a new one type.
Basically. Is apparently searching for new investors and is on the market for sale.
Yes.
Yes, that's right. TNA Impact Wrestling is officially for sale. Now, I don't know what the market is. I don't know if there is anybody out there who's actually looking to buy a wrestling company, but at this point in time, I'm going to throw it out here and suggest some wild and crazy idea that some wrestling fan somewhere gets on the crowdfunding source and actually tries to buy a stake or buy TNA.
Just outright, because Panda Energy no longer funds this company.
I mean, if people could raise $1.5 million for Kanye West,
God.
in under a day, I have to think, and I have to have enough faith that the wrestling fan faithful, that there are a lot of wrestling fans with spare pocket change, that if we get behind this cause, we maybe could raise enough capital to become principal investors in TNA. That's right, I'm making it happen. Slamcast for TNA owners.
Oh, jeez, please.
Could you imagine that? Us running a fucking TV show. I can't even.
Oh, God.
I believe in multiverse theory, so mentioning this, I have created the universe in which this exists.
Oh, jeez, yeah. And then all of a sudden, I've got Vince Russo give me a call and say, hey, can you give me a job? Like, fuck no! Talk to me again, Russo.
Yeah, Vince Russo, who now says wrestling is passe, but that's,
why,
I don't see, though, there's nobody on the horizon anymore that could swoop in like a white knight and potentially buy this company from
outside
them.
of Vince McMahon just for the tape library,
I don't even think the tape library is worth that much. I mean, what are they, but they're gonna buy it for Sting, Christian, the Dudleys, and AJ.
AJ Styles, yeah. There's not many. I mean,
Samoa Joe,
too. It's one of those things where
unless Kurt Angle comes in the deal, like,
oh yeah, Kurt Angle comes, yeah.
And it's like when they bought WCW, they had some, tangible, assets like rings, all the production equipment.
Yep.
What's WWE gonna do with a 6-sided ring? Like, come on now.
A new network special,
Oh man.
6 sides of what the fuck are we doing now?
Oh boy.
God, just the idea, and I don't know, considering how out of the way WWE goes to bury TNA, when they have the whole write-up on AJ Styles, they talk about his great matches in Florida.
In Japan. They talk about everything he's done in Japan.
They actually specifically mention New Japan.
Yes.
They just say, as far as TNA, in Florida. It's so pathetic.
Like, that is, if like I said, if I'm TNA and all like that, I'm insulted by that. I'm insulted that, like, we do the same thing. You're not even calling me you won't even refer to me by my real name. Like, that is insulting. But, I mean, at the same time.
But it's such a damaged brand at this point.
Yes, it is in competition to WWE at this point. I mean, the only thing they have in common is they both do wrestling.
Yeah.
That's it.
And they've had Matt Hardy as a world champion.
And they've had Matt Hardy as a champion.
And I'm saying that, but then again, TNA didn't have 3 different world titles at one point, and Matt was only holding the ECW title. But, I don't know, it's such a damaged brand. Yeah, is someone going to be, I'm going to say, dumb enough to buy this company? I don't know.
Mean, we've heard the rumors that Billy Corgan may be interested. I personally want the rapper Wale.
Wale.
Wale. I don't know how much money Wale really has. Mm-hmm. Maybe he could talk to some people that he knows. Wale, big wrestling fan. Mm-hmm. Maybe we'll see Wale Mania come to Pop TV. I don't know. I really believe though, and I have to believe it because I'm an eternal optimist. That if some wrestling fans got behind it, maybe, just maybe, we could raise enough capital to buy at least, maybe not a majority stake. I'm not saying we're going to get $1 million, but if every WWE Twitter follower in America or gave $1, I mean, that's a couple $1 million right there.
Yeah, I mean, for $1, you can help us buy TNA.
$1, you can help us buy TNA, and you could be a minority stockholder in TNA when we take them public.
Yeah,
and we could literally reinvent professional wrestling if the fans bought a company. Could you imagine that? What world we would live in if fans trust buying a company? Mm-hmm. Can't even imagine that.
Of course, they would need a complete overhaul. I mean, first of all, getting rid of the TNA name. That name is so damaged that...
Exactly. I think the brand needs a complete overhaul. They need someone to come in here and literally just knock it all down.
Yeah.
As much talent in the assets as they can, and literally start over from square one. A whole new company.
Yep.
Whole new brand. Hopefully Pop TV will, still be behind you. If not, I don't know where you go from there. But
well, yeah, the TV, that's the big thing.
Exactly.
If you don't have TV, you don't have anything.
That's really literally the only thing keeping them in business at this point.
The TV, yep.
Yeah. So, that's my plea. That's my plea to wrestling fans.
Yep.
We could come together and we could own our own wrestling company.
Mm-hmm.
And then we could decide who we want to see. Or who we would want to book. Just saying. Just throwing it out there.
Yeah. I mean, TNA is releasing a 4-disc AJ Styles set.
They are.
Which is...
I mean, it is sort of like, your jilted ex-girlfriend releasing a mixtape about you. It is, a little... But, I mean, they have the rights to do so. They
have all that footage. I mean, how many years?
Exactly.
He was there since day one.
Exactly. It was the platform in which he became a...
big star in the States.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how I was first exposed to AJ Styles.
A major player in the wrestling world. That's where he became a star. So, it's well within their right to do so. Thing now, after everything that happened after they released that press release, it kind of seems a little, maybe this was something that was already planned, that was already in the works, but, who knows if anybody actually buys it either, too. I mean, where do TNA DVDs even sell? You have to buy it from TNA's website?
Here's the funny thing. I've only bought one. Well, I've had a few, but I found them in other stores. But I ordered one DVD off their website, and that was the Jeff Jarrett one. That 4-disc,
The King of the Mountain DVD set?
Yeah. Which, there's some good matches on there. I mean, Jeff Jarrett has always been a fantastic talent, but I don't know. It's like, AJ Styles had so many.
You're being a little liberal with the use of fantastic, but okay.
Maybe, but I don't know. I always he was definitely a lot better than a lot of people would probably give him credit for.
The guy broke 1,000 guitars and couldn't draw a dime. That's all I'm going to say in the great words of Jim Ross. So let's say the TNA story obviously is always evolving. It never ends.
It just gets weirder and weirder, honestly.
Yeah.
I think. It's like the Hogan story, it was just going to get weirder and weirder.
We haven't talked about that in a while, and it leads me to believe that right around the corner something really bad's about to happen. But I have a feel the same thing about TNA. We will be talking about this again at some point in time, and maybe then we'll have good news. I don't know.
Maybe.
Who knows, man? Who knows?
Yeah, it's just wow.
Speaking of some good news, and this happened. I think a lot of people were kind of sleeping on this event because it happened this weekend. We didn't mention it, but ROH held their 14th anniversary show this weekend in Las Vegas. It's kind of a joint show with New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Always a good thing.
Always a good thing, but something happened at this show that a lot of people, at least certainly when I saw it happening, when I saw it, was reading the news, I didn't expect it happening. The Motor City Machine Guns have reunited in Ring of Honor.
Yeah. One of the, just another tag team in that stack tag team.
I would call them one of the best tag teams of the last 10 years.
Great matches with the Dudleys, they've had.
Absolutely.
How many teams, how stacked is this tag team division in ROH already?
Yeah, we got the Young Bucks, we got the Motor Machine Guns, which, that match in and of itself right there is a pay-per-view match waiting to happen.
Take my money.
You have War Machine, you have the All Night Exchange, you have Roppongi Vice, you have, I feel like I'm missing somebody.
Shows you how stacked it is.
Yeah.
There's so many. It's
Red Dragon.
Red Dragon. Yep.
Yeah.
Punky Vice, that's Beretta and...
Rocky Romero.
Okay, I'm trying to remember because I'm not as familiar with... I've only seen him once, and that was Wrestle Kingdom 10. So.
Roppongi Vice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just the Ring of Honor just picked up a big group of talent. I mean, they've had Sabin and Shelley a while, but putting them together kind of makes sense. Everyone wants that nostalgia trip to go on.
Yep. Weren't they? Didn't it look like they were setting up for something else from the?
Funny you mentioned that, Nicholas, because when Senior Burhan and I were at the Ring of Honor tapings last December, they sort of slightly teased a little bit of a showdown between the two of them, as Chris Sabin had aligned himself with Kazarian and Daniels the Addiction, the other members of that stacked tag team division. So this seems like a very interesting turn of events.
Yep.
Seeing the fact, 3 months ago, they were looked to be feuding. So we'll see how this goes. Certainly, Young Bucks, Motor City Machine Guns is a marquee matchup that a lot of people would absolutely love to see.
Oh, yeah.
Speaking of things that happened over anniversary weekend, I was going to send you messages of this, and it's good I'm telling you about this show now. We may have just found a way for the Ultimate Bullet Club combo, the Ultimate Elite combo to get better. The Young Bucks and Kenny Omega did the Meltzer driver into a one-winged angel.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Poor Matt Sydal. That's all I'm going to say.
Why is he the one always taking this shit?
Matt Sydal.
He's the one he was the one that took the Ultimate Bullet Club fatality finish with AJ.
Yeah, no. I've seen him do it. Oh no, that was, Mike Bennett, sorry. That's a thing that happened. I could not believe it when I saw them do that. It continues to be one of the most interesting things in professional wrestling, and when 2016 is over with, I guarantee you one of the story headlines will be the emergence of Kenny Omega and the Elite.
Yep. It's an elite year, yes it is!
Just you watch.
Yep.
Just you watch. We got some Hall of Fame news. It really shouldn't be Hall of Fame news, because I think this really...
was the obvious one, but
yeah. The Susan Lucci of the WWE Hall of Fame, Michael P.S. Hayes, finally gets the just recognition that his career deserves.
Yeah.
As being part of one of the most influential tag teams of the 70s and 80s in the Fabulous Freebirds. We couldn't have the New Day without the Freebirds. Yes, totally different vibes, but you get what I'm trying to pick up what I'm putting down. The three-way heel tag team, antagonizing the crowd. I mean, so this should have happened back in Atlanta. I don't know why they waited this long. I mean, how many Hall of Fame shortlists do you think he was finally the last man cut from before he finally hit on it? I mean, this guy's gonna get a standing ovation. He should.
Yeah, even P.S. Hayes said it. I saw the interview he did with JoJo, that it was, in a sense, poetic that Rolling Stone was the
because
that broke it.
The Freebirds were the coolest thing in professional wrestling at one point in time in Texas, and going up against the Von Erichs in those world-class days. So it's very great that they're going in Texas.
Yeah, well, going in Texas, Rolling Stone breaking the news, because they were the guys that brought that whole rock and roll into the genre. I mean, come on. Well,
yeah.
Bad Street USA, man.
They were the first people to have theme music. I mean, we gotta look at so many things that came from the work shoot. I mean, that's all stuff that the Freebirds maybe not invented, but in the theme music they were invented. But, they were, so many teams owe their stardom to the Freebirds.
Yep.
I literally can't even begin to.
Yeah, it does suck that, Terry Gordy won't be there.
Yes.
It's...
But his family is still going to get the recognition they deserve.
Yes. Because, and I will say this, if anyone can find this video somewhere, I remember seeing this on YouTube, and it's gone now, but Michael Hayes doing the whole Freebird Road thing.
Yes.
As a tribute to Terry Gordy.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's going to be something else to see if Gorgeous Jimmy Garvin shows up, because I heard Garvin and Hayes haven't been on the best of terms.
Mm.
So, at least that's what I heard. I could be wrong. So, we'll see.
Yeah.
I mean, if any time should be to patch up the differences.
Yep, it's be now. I can't wait to hear his speech, though.
He's gonna be a tearjerker. I think a lot of the you'll see a lot of the wrestlers tear up.
Yep.
Because he's in his backstage role influenced so many people's careers, and been a part of so much behind the creative side of the product.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, his influence, even just, backstage alone.
Yeah.
He was the pivotal factor in Austin 316. He was the one that told Austin when he was coming back from the hospital after getting stitches from because of Mark Marrow, that Roberts cut this religious-based promo on him. So It was just, boom.
Yep. So, congratulations, Michael. You're finally getting the career recognition that you so justly deserve. And that'll be probably my favorite part of the Hall of Fame induction.
I think so. I think it's definitely gonna be him and the Godfather, the two I'm, really looking forward to outside of the headliner. Sting.
The Ho train.
Yes.
I like to see Godfather's Ho get a Hall of Fame induction.
The Ho that won the hardcore title?
Exactly. She's a former hardcore champion.
Oh my god. I missed a hardcore title. Just the most random.
It wouldn't be able to survive these days. Like, wouldn't be able to get away with half the things that they got away with.
Jeez, come on! You had Crash Holly in a freaking one was in an airport, one was in an amusement park,
one was in a ball pit.
Yes.
I like my favorite hardcore title change was Briscoe and Patterson.
Oh God, yes.
What?
Oh, I love.
And then he kicks out. Oh. Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, because the one where he snuck up on him, Crash, was great.
Mm-hmm.
Everything about Briscoe and Patterson, they're just awesome. And yeah, I mean, come on, the match they had with the Posse on Raw. By the way, I want to see the Mean Street Posse at WrestleMania.
Yeah, again, if you are listening, WWE, and we have clearly demonstrated that you are listening to us, if the Mean Street Posse doesn't show up on WrestleMania, you've failed us all. Yep. Failed us all, I say. Even if they come out just to get destroyed by the Undertaker.
Yeah.
I would snap so hard for that.
Doesn't matter. You just come on, childhood friends of Shane McMahon.
Exactly. Just get a big boot and a choke slam, and that's it. That's it, man.
Man.
Do we want to talk about Raw? Because I think Raw, obviously the numbers went down this week. Raw, to me, it didn't start out as solid as it did last week, and I thought it lost its momentum from there, and it just could never recover.
Yep.
It wasn't a bad thing, because that Triple H Dean Ambrose promo was a great way to start it, but the first match did not continue that momentum, and I felt it lost its way from there. I didn't really know what was going on. I kind of was losing interest, and then ultimately I fell asleep. That's not, saying it was that bad. That's just, I fall asleep.
I mean, I did watch the whole thing. We had a double pin with Sasha and Becky.
Yeah, exactly. I thought that match really could have been, I don't know. I felt I
felt that you could have just done the storyline, because there's a double pin.
There were some things that they were even doing in the ring, just didn't make any sense. Like the chain wrestling to start the match, I would have much rather see them, like, not take it easy on each other, but, like, trying to one-up each other to start the match.
Right, I get the feeling this is a lot more of WWE overproducing this match and not letting them just go.
I don't know. I think that they couldn't make up their mind, so double pin.
Yeah.
This match should have had a decisive winner or
either
loser.
that, or if you could do the double pin, just like say, okay, they redid this match on SmackDown. I haven't seen the result of it yet, but if they want to do the triple threat, like there's your fucking in.
Yeah.
So.
I don't know. I really felt that they did a little bit of drop the ball creatively, but there was one good thing that came out of Raw, and it does set up this. Now they've renamed it. It was the Road to Wrestlemania, something or other like that. Mm-hmm. The next network live special, taking place on my birthday, by the way, March 12th. Where I was watching it from lovely sunny Florida on my iPad.
Nice.
Yeah. Anyway, it's now titled Roadblock. And,
cock block, if you ask me.
Yeah, cause more like cock tease, if you ask me.
Ambrose versus Triple H for the title.
Exactly. If we did see one thing from Raw, I think it further proved that Dean Ambrose can hold himself on the mic with absolutely anybody. We saw him do it with Heyman the other week, and we saw him do it this week with one of the greatest of all time on the microphone, Triple H. And they cut a promo that, for my money was probably the best promo of the year. Maybe second best promo next to the Shane McMahon promo.
Yep. And that's where we're at. I mean, we're getting our preparations already for the second annual.
Yeah, so do you think that they're teasing this match because they're having this match as like a tease to see if people actually respond to the potential of Dean Ambrose winning the title, or do they actually have a plan where Dean Ambrose is actually going to win the WWE title? Dare I even mention that?
This is another thing where, do I want to see Ambrose win the title? Yeah.
Or do you think that's what's going to happen? Like, do you think that they have clearly now realized that with the backlash that they seem to be having with Roman Reigns, maybe now is not the right time to do it.
Right.
For the WWE title with Triple H and Roman, and to have the world title match be either Brock versus Dean Ambrose, maybe?
Or Roman all of a sudden, he wins the title and then they do a triple threat again, or it's just...
Here's what I think. I think they're floating balloons to see what people would deal with the idea of Dean Ambrose facing for the title, and they're not going to waste time putting on an actual pay-per-view to do that and building a feud between do that. So this is now the time to do it before WrestleMania. This one little thing that people are already not going to be talking that much before. Listen, I don't like the fact that they call it Roadblock. I think they really should have brought back the Saturday Night's Main Event concept.
Or do a different name, maybe. I don't know, but...
Something that doesn't conjure up images of terrible mid-90s WCW talent.
Oh, God!
Yeah,
by the way, Instagram jobbers and jabronis.
I went there.
Oh, that was beautiful.
I went there, Roadblock. Sorry.
Wow.
Like, at one time, people in WCW were just named after things. Roadblock.
Wall.
Crowbar. Yeah, it seems like towards the end, or most of WCW people were just named after things.
Yeah. And then you had brilliant names like General Erection, Hugh G. Erection.
Yeah, what are you talking about? Major Guns? You weren't a fan?
There were two reasons I was a fan of Major Guns.
Yes, so developing teenage emotions.
Yes.
I think we pretty much covered all the wrestling stories for this week,
yeah,
right?
We're on that road to WrestleMania, man.
On that road to WrestleMania, things are going to get a little lean. The nuggets of information are going to be trickling out slowly but surely. We still got a whole month to go before this.
Yep, we still got, more build up with the Shane McMahon Undertaker match. Taker
Yes.
came out. Vince, he grabbed Vince by the throat, and he wasn't suspended 90 days because he's the fucking Undertaker.
Of course not, and this happened in kayfabe because
Yep.
that doesn't happen. I feel sorry for you if you stayed up for Raw and tried to watch just for the Undertaker, thinking, he was going to cut a lengthy promo as to why he was going to help Vince McMahon.
Or gonna say, no, I'm not gonna, or maybe they'll still set something up. I don't know. Maybe Vince is gonna be so pissed that, Taker grabbed him by the throat and he's gonna throw something else in there. I don't know.
One of my early predictions is this. I think Vince McMahon is gonna push the Undertaker too far during the match, and Undertaker walks out. Because, I don't know if we mentioned it on the last week, Undertaker really doesn't stand anything to gain or lose from this match. I think either just being in this match wouldn't say tarnish the legacy, but it certainly maybe cheapens it a little bit. Going from Bray Wyatt, who very well may be one of the future stars of this company, despite the fact saying Stone Cold Steve Austin not being a big fan of his booking over the last month, to say the least. Brock Lesnar before that, and with the streak breaking, and now Shane McMahon, and especially if this is the rumored end, it's going to be against Shane McMahon. No offense to Shane McMahon, but
yeah,
that's not.
Again, we're also still 4 weeks out.
We are still very much.
So could we still get some kind of storyline where maybe Undertaker possibly tries to back out of the match, and then Vince throws in the retirement stipulation? I don't know.
Or maybe
throw that in there to add this extra element into the match of, could Undertaker possibly sacrifice his entire career for the good of the company?
There's this storyline is narrative laden, and we have no idea where they're going. There are rumors abound that Stephanie McMahon may be taking some time off. That's why Shane was brought in. We shall see.
That whole rumor that she's pregnant again.
Mm-hmm. That seems to always be there.
Yeah, it's like, that's just a rumor at this point.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. I'm not going to comment on anything else like that beyond the fact that that is something that is out there and has been out there for a while. Strap yourselves in though, man. We're coming up on the road to WrestleMania, and it's
a wonderful time of year though.
It's still a wonderful time of the year, despite the fact of being a little bit of a downer. The picture's coming into focus now. We get to see some of the things that Kevin Owens might be doing, maybe working with the Big Show, which I didn't think I'd be okay with, but I'm at least keeping an open mind if that's the plan.
Yeah, I am, I'm fine with it. I want Owens at WrestleMania.
Exactly. Either way. I like this Rusev body slam challenge thing that they seem to be doing.
And Truth tries to armbar him.
Yeah, or give him the arm drag. Yeah, that's great. I mean, there are things brewing in the picture that could potentially be very entertaining for WrestleMania. Let's see where it goes.
Yep.
All right, we're gonna talk a little MMA now before we call it quits.
Yeah, let's get that wonderful
because
stuff going.
It happened over the weekend, and with all due offense to the great nation of the United Kingdom and England, and your proudest mixed martial combat sports athlete, Michael Bisping, but I think you were the benefit of some very, very biased judging.
Mm-hmm.
Because I personally don't think anybody should win a fight if they have that much blood all over the face.
See, I didn't see the fight. I just saw the results, and I just think...
If you saw the highlights from the fight, obviously Anderson Silva was being punished for fighting a defensive fight. I mean, he really didn't seem to kind of put out any work, aggressively until about the third or fourth round. He kept on hitting with a good up kick. He did a fair amount of damage when he did, but I maybe think it was him being punished for not fighting aggressively, where, Bisping was missing, but Bisping was by far being the aggressor of the fight.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think he should really deserve to lose that.
And again, it's the old saying, never leave in the hands of the judges. That's, how I think, but have the judges scored fights in the past? Fuck yes.
Absolutely. I don't want to, I'll take back my statement to say earlier that I don't mean they were malicious, but I just believe that there were, if that fight takes place in Vegas, that fight goes for Anderson Silva. That's all I'm saying.
It does.
I think they might have been heavily swayed by the crowd, which the crowd was pretty much a pro Bisping crowd, as it should have been.
Well, duh, it's the UK. What do you expect?
And he does go down as the UK's greatest MMA fighter.
And the victim of my favorite UFC knockout of all time, when Dan Henderson knocked his teeth down his throat.
Very true. But you can't say that, from that up until Mr. McGregor, who is from the other island from that area. He was the number one star of an entire region.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe one of the all-time British greats as far as fighting goes. Remains still to be seen. I know they would like to see a rematch with him and Anderson, potentially someplace else, maybe not in London. But I don't think we've seen the last of Anderson Silva. I don't think this was going to be his last fight. He's not going to walk away on this note.
Yeah.
Now to the fights this weekend, which should be a very, very interesting weekend. I'm not really going to talk about the two big fights this weekend because, well, we wouldn't bore you with, minute details of
random preliminary undercard fights
that none of us have probably ever seen before. We're not going to lower ourselves.
Yeah. I don't know. Just what card is this?
This would be UFC 196. Yeah, 196.
Jeez, we're pushing up at 200. Oh, God damn, I remember UFC 100 like it was yesterday.
UFC 200 is right around the corner this summer. I'm pretty sure it's 196. Hang on, I will find that out. Vamping for information.
I mean, UFC 100, I remember how stacked that card was.
UFC 196. So we are 4 pay-per-views away. McGregor is scheduled to fight still on UFC 200 against an unknown opponent, but he is the main event draw in this fight against his replacement opponent, Nate Diaz. Nate Diaz. Right?
I'm looking at the card. I haven't heard of any of these other fighters outside of the main event.
Yeah. That's why we're only talking about the main 2 fights. We'll talk about the women's fight first before we talk McGregor.
So McGregor-Diaz isn't even a title fight?
It's not even a title fight. It's taking place at welterweight.
Okay.
That's the only catchweight that they could agree to. Apparently, that's the only way the Diaz camp could make on such short notice, which really isn't that much of a difference, I don't think.
Okay.
I think we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that later.
I can't even remember. There's so many divisions. McGregor is the lightweight champion, I believe. Or is
he is the
lightweight.
He's the featherweight champion. He was going to fight for the lightweight championship, but Dos Anjos backed out, and now he's going to fight at welterweight.
Okay, I'm just trying to keep track of this. I haven't kept my eye on it too. I just saw that this is going down. So yeah, Holly Holm, Miesha Tate.
Holly Holm, Miesha Tate. I think Miesha Tate, has a lot to prove in this fight. She has a lot to prove in the sense that she believes that she's the most talented female MMA fighter, and she was overshadowed by the meteoric rise of Ronda Rousey, and she wants to take out the one that damaged Ronda Rousey's career to set up this epic fight trilogy. But at the same time, Holly Holm still possesses what I think is the best boxing in the division. And you can't teach that and you can't defend that. You can only defend that so much.
Yeah. So, I'm taking Holly Holm.
Yeah, Holly Holm's got 2 inches on her.
Yep.
I just think that big of a size difference equates that big of a power difference, and something's going to happen. Maybe it's not going to be in the first round. It's not going to be a quick fight. I think something happens in 2 or 3, but that puts Miesha Tate down, and that's it.
Who knows? We might get another upset. You just never know. Again,
you can never know because Holly Holm is this great unknown.
Yeah, but maybe Miesha Tate catches her. But I'm picking Holly Holm, and my and I've said before, my track record with these UFC main events has not been, spectacular.
No.
I could probably go back, even, UFC 100 and before that. I haven't really picked very many main events correctly, so.
One of these days, you'll pick it. One of these days.
Occasionally I do. Like when Lesnar was fighting on top for a while, yeah, I would always go with him. I'd usually be right, but.
That's not really saying much.
Yeah, Anderson Silva, they were always, but.
That's easy. That's easy.
Yeah, and then eventually, yeah, but. Alright, yeah, but then the main event, Conor McGregor, Nate Diaz.
Yeah, this, believe me, I think UFC is really going to be holding their breath with this one because.
Yes.
Stylistically, if Nate Diaz is on his game, he does match up very well. That is a very big if, though, if he is on his game. He doesn't, I shouldn't say that, he looked off of it, but in that press conference that they had, he definitely was not the normal, normally it's any one of the Diaz brothers running their mouths. He was not doing any of his mouth. He was letting Conor do all the talking, and he did levy some pretty heavy accusations with, steroids and PED claims, which I really just think that's him trying to drum up interest in his fight.
Yeah, and I know, I think it's kind of falling flat. Like, really?
Exactly, and speaking of falling flat, I think there's one thing that really is a true telling sign of this. The fact that this fight is having to take place at welterweight, because that's the only weight class,
catch weight that,
the Diaz camp could make in such short notice, which really doesn't seem that he's in all that great of shape after his, last fight a few weeks ago. I think this is a guy that's just literally showing up for the paycheck. I mean, there's a considerable height difference, but I don't know. But I think UFC is going to be holding their breath because if Diaz wins and derails the McGregor hype train, there goes their golden boy, and they don't have anybody.
Yeah,
they don't have anybody left, and then they got to go find somebody, and that's going to be really hard because you got to look at a lot of their champions aren't guys that aren't very marketable guys that don't put on entertaining fights. Gregor is one of the last entertaining marketable. Cormier to an extent, but not to the same level as Conor.
Yeah, I mean.
That being said.
Yeah, McGregor goes down. You don't have another McGregor or a Ronda Rousey or even a Chael Sonnen to drum up such insane.
Anderson Silva's on his way out.
Yeah.
George St. Pierre probably isn't coming back. So McGregor has to win this fight for the overall prosperity of the UFC, and I do believe that if Diaz is fighting out welterweight, he is not in prime fighting shape, whereas McGregor is, literally coming off of a camp. So I think I'll go with Conor in this one. I don't think it's going to be 13 seconds, but I think he does.
It's going to be a matter of time.
I think he does enough. I think he does enough to either win a decision or he does enough to, put him down early. Not first round early, but early. So, that's going to be March 5th, Saturday. If you're in front of a TV and you don't already know it, didn't know already, that's probably what you should be doing.
Yep.
I'm not going to tell you how to spend your Saturday night, but
I'll be working.
Making
that fuck money.
Trying to get that fuck money. All about that meat sauce.
Yes.
I'm thinking about, speaking of Iron Sheik Tweet of the Week, I'm thinking about coming up with a Virgil Tweet of the Week, too, because he's been dropping some gems. We'll talk about that later off the air and maybe in future episodes. But, Iron Sheik Tweet of the Week?
Iron Sheik Tweet of the Week, man.
Him, I talked to him. I want to know, are you the man or are you a fucking piece of shit? No good motherfucker. Fucking bullshit. Bullshit, Hulk Hogan.
Got a real simple one this week. This most recent hot take is all about the man who won most of Super Tuesday and the person who gave him his most latest ringing endorsement. Chris Christie look like the cheeseburger. That is your Iron Sheik Tweet of the Week.
Fucking bullshit!
Yeah.
Let's do some plugs.
Yeah, let's get our shit plugged and we'll get the hell out of here. I'm over on YouTube at the Gaming Pegasus 187. I'm on Facebook, Nick Horaceck, Wrestling/MMA Revolution is the Facebook group. We're in there talking wrestling and posting Slamcast every week. I'm Instagram, Xbox Live, Wii U, Pegasus 187. I mean, all over the place. Been doing a lot of working the last several weeks, so just getting shit done, man.
Google. That's all you gotta do. Google. Yeah. I'm also thinking about doing a Bill Carr Tweet of the Week, 'cause I'm just reading.
Jeez.
Just watched the first Fuller House episode and it forced me to gig 3 times in 36 minutes.
Oh my god, I saw the one clip of the wrestling one. Oh Jesus.
I haven't watched it yet, so I can't really comment.
Well, I can say she looked a lot more comfortable in the ring than Eva Marie.
Oh man, we got a showdown potentially brewing. Eva Marie versus Jody Sweet in WrestleMania 33. Book it, fellas.
Yeah.
Hanging from the rafters.
But,
hanging from the rafters.
Before you take us out, I do want to, because we did bring this up, I'll bring it up quick, because why not? Lucha Underground on iTunes now.
Lucha Underground is on iTunes, so if you want to catch up on all your Lucha Underground, you could watch the first season for $44.99, I think is what it said.
$44.99.
It's not too bad for the 13 episodes or something like that.
No, the first season is like 40 episodes.
Oh,
so the entire first and second season's on there, and they'll be adding the second season as they air, but you're in a sense prepaying for the second season.
That's a pretty sweet deal.
Yes. So for those of you that may not have El Rey who want a legal way to watch it, because I watch off an allegedly hooky deal.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta do some searching for it, allegedly.
Hashtag piracy.
Yeah. But yeah, Brandon, you want to watch?
I might. I don't know. We'll see. I could, always find my way to Lucha Underground on the El Rey network, which I have it on my cable provider. Yeah. So, if you like this show, go support professional wrestling, in the most basic form, in its infancy, in its most literally purest stage in the independent wrestling scene. I guarantee you, no matter where you live on this planet, if you live in civilization, there are people in your local municipal hall, VFW lodge, Elks Lodge, school gymnasium, applying their dream with spandex and nothing but, heart. You could be seeing the next WWE superstar in your local, bingo hall. It's a cheap form of family entertainment, affordable form of family entertainment, shouldn't say cheap. And it goes to support a lot of good causes in your community for the most part. So support independent wrestling, ProWrestlingTees.com.
Yes.
Go buy it. There you go, Pro Wrestling Tees. You get enough money and I plug you on my shirt, on my podcast.
Yes.
Brandon All Hope on the Twitter. Apparently nothing Instagram. Brando Calrissian 420 on the Twitch. That's where you can find me. You know, send me a message. I'm not that much of a mean curmudgeon. I will answer you and reply to you. Just don't be an asshole. That's all. Don't be weird. I'm weird enough.
Yeah.
So, on that note, I'd like to say goodbye. Farewell. Auf Wiedersehen. For Nick Horaceck, the birthday boy. For Tom Shaw, who joined us for a little bit but had to go because of the numerous technical difficulties that we had starting the program. For Michael Burhan, for the absent Dave Wade, I'm Brandon Liggan saying good night. Go forth and spread beauty and light. Peace, love, and humpiness. Meow.